So glad to see you all. I'm curious who is new, who was not here last time, and there's some sort of polling feature. We should set that up for next time. But maybe just raise your hand if you're new, and just for a minute. Great, awesome. Not everyone's on camera, and that's fine. So I'll try very hard to not repeat myself too much, but to give everybody a little bit of a sense of what's going on with the class, how we're doing things, and proceed from there. So yesterday we started our first class with the idea of really focusing in on this sort of third register of the flute. And Nicole, amazing Nicole, is here today to help me, and my student Grace is also here. And Indigo is here for a little bit of time, which is really helpful. We have so many people on Zoom. Would you like to share your screen so you can see the new and improved 4 registers of the flute? Okay, so I'll put this on the website for sure, but you'll be able to see that this is a little different from the one that you have right now. So this is the range we're going to be working on, Rebecca, and we talked about how this range is really sort of the iconic flute range, right? So we have etc. and 4A Fantasies in there. Even the piece I was just playing, the Jennifer Higdon Autumn Reflections, has a lot of that register. This register tends to be a little bit on the flat side. But you'll see that we've updated. We now have a male name. Many of my male students were feeling discriminated against, so we have Malcolm, and then we changed the bottom register to Simone after my new favorite singer, Anita Simone, who's getting me through this, helping me rise up every day for sure. Okay, good. So we're going to go ahead and proceed with our empowerment warm-up that we started. We'll do most of our classes that way. And while Nicole is pulling that up, I'm going to give you my A. Make sure everyone's muted. So there we are on that. And some of you may have the music. Nicole, are you having... Can you get to that empowerment warm-up? Here it is. Excellent. Thank you, my friend. So is what we're going for. And we'll do the same thing that we did yesterday, where we'll start, we'll do each bar twice, maybe with a stretch on the line, on the bar line. And here we go. C to C. Creamy octaves opening into the top. And repeat. B to B. Just take a little shoulder roll here if you can. I don't know how everyone's sleeping, but I'm not getting my best sleep these days, so I don't always wake up feeling super amazing, but that's what we're here to try to fix, some of that. So we'll do B flat to B flat now. Great, and we'll just stay on this page and we'll do our harmonics on C. And let's try to go up to G this time. I know we didn't quite make it past the third bar, but sometimes is a helpful way to begin harmonics. Remember not to tighten into the top register. So when you see those ledger lines, don't be fooled into the band director's hand that says, flute player, softer, you're so sharp, you're so shrill. We're here to find the top register through the bottom register, through the harmonic series. A couple of you are really new to playing, and so you'll just articulate the second note rather than slurring. Okay, here we go. One time each bar. But we have to do that again, just for my sake. So remember to be as smooth as you can. No vibrato is so important, and make the harmonic sound like the real note like the harmonic. Big breath. One more. So do not fear, should that feel extremely hard, seize the moment, my friends. Anything that's hard is an opportunity to get better. We'll be posting the videos, so if you didn't get any of that, you can go back and watch it tonight or in your morning time. I know it's later for a lot of people right now. So don't despair. We will do these every time, and our harmonics really will get better. I think, Nicole, we're actually going to stay right where we are, and we're going to do the roller coaster on C. As you know, those of you know, I'm a little bit obsessed with this exercise. So I said we were going to do it on F, which we will, but let's do at least a couple bars here on C. Same concept, mezzo forte, no vibrato. 1, 2. And let's play that all together again, and then we'll just go straight on. 1, 2. Can we go on a little bit more? Thank you. Ready and now turn around. There's our octave, our creamy octave. So we just got into that range that we're talking about now, the Rebecca range that tends to be a little bit flat. So if you found you were a little bit underneath me, that's a cue that you may be sort of digging down into that top register, perhaps rolling in a little bit too much. Okay, so we'll go to the next one, which I believe is on page 5, Nicole. And we'll do this one on A. Here's the exercise. That's That's fine, yeah. Maybe go forward one more. Yeah. Oh, the one that starts on F. Let's see. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so this is right on our Rebecca range, right there at the top of that range right there, and we'll play the whole thing through. You'll notice obviously that as we go higher and higher, we get closer to the top C. That's a top C. I know we've got some beginning flute players here. You might not know the fingering to high C, but somebody can help you with that here in our amazing community. And if you don't know the fingerings, obviously don't worry about playing it. But what we're trying to do is really match from any note on the instrument. So I call it avoiding the pickles and milk phenomenon, you know, where you suddenly get to a register that is, everything's been milky and suddenly there's pickles or sriracha or orange juice and toothpaste. That's my other favorite analogy. Okay, nice and open, no vibrato. I know it's hard. Here we go. 1, 2. So it's like learning how to fly when you really can play these exercises on any of the keys that Moise gives us. And as a reminder, tomorrow we'll be venturing into the second variation. If you want to just back up one slide, Nicole, just to remind everyone. And as a reminder, these are available. Sorry, maybe it's 2 slides. I don't know where it is. Here, no, it is. I don't know where it is. It's in the packet. It says roller coaster warm up. This one, yeah. Thanks, Nicole. So we just did A, and then tomorrow we'll venture on to B. As I told you, we're definitely going to do D. I'm going to give you a little preview of that one because this one's particularly hard for people. Right? So talk about flying right there. We will do D, we will do E, we will do G and I for sure. But really the bread and butter of this, the staple is the first couple right here. And as you know from yesterday's class, these 2 exercises, harmonics and roller coaster, are so fundamental to my teaching, so core to my teaching, and so important to my concept of sound, that my students have to play these at the end of the year proficiencies in front of the entire woodwind faculty. So you have to get really brave about your harmonic work in order to do that. Okay, great. So next I wanted to talk a little bit about the technical component, which is a new concept for me. Last 2 times I taught this class, I was like, how do I teach technique on Zoom because there's such a giant delay? And so I made a video of myself playing the Tafno Gobert exercise number 4. And my idea is that you pop it on with headphones and we alternate bars. There's my tongue sticking out. But I'll show you what I mean. So go ahead and start it. I'm muted. That's not working, is it? It worked before.
Hold on, trying to find sound.
So while she's finding space between. You don't have to worry about breathing. This is a YouTube video, so there wouldn't be any delay in this. So this is inspired by Carol Winsons, we would play these together. Zadie Lawler and I, colleagues at Juilliard, used to play these together before every rehearsal at Juilliard. And as we go through the weeks, I'll start manipulating the articulations and the tempos. That was quarter equals 64. I'll always give you the metronome marking so you know what to practice. And for this week, I gave you just the first page, the first, I think, 2 flats in the Taffanel Gobert. And then I also put in G flat major. That's like the hardest one. It's halfway through, just so that we're not just playing the easier keys. So that's one thing. And then there's a video of thirds as well, which are so important. I had the amazing fortune this fall of being on sabbatical and being in Europe, and it just really occurred to me that we need to practice our thirds. Americans need to practice their thirds. So I made a little video of myself. There's no music because I think thirds are really good to just have in your head and to be able to play without the music. So again, you can take or leave this, but it's here for you, and I hope you enjoy it. So next we'll go to page 14, Nicole, and this is another exercise called the Disney exercise. Bryce Smith, my former DMA student who just graduated, he loves this exercise. We came up with a name together. This is an intonation exercise. So what we'll do is we'll play the first couple of lines together, and then you can either play the drone, you can play the C drone, the first note, and so anyway, so this will all be slurred. When we get to the last note, you can vibrate. Enjoy that. So I'll demonstrate first. So my favorite part is definitely the 7-to-1, which is right in our Rebecca range. So let's play this once together, and then you hold the C and I'll play the whole thing together. So you hold the C and I'll play the exercise, and then we'll reverse. So I slurred the whole thing. Somebody just saw that in the chat. I'm not brave enough to get to articulation in the first week here. Okay, now I'm holding the C and sending it out to the void, and hope that you'll play the accompaniment part. Here we go. And for that, I wouldn't vibrate. I would try really hard. It's hard to not vibrate when you're teaching a class for 85 people. Okay, now we're doing the next key. Oh, it's B. I thought it was C sharp. Okay, the C sharp one is really hard, by the way. So let's play B together. So starting on, this is a lot of sharps, friends. We'll play it again. You can choose whichever part you'd like. B flat. back to the C one more time. Just to stay open, remember the creamy octave idea. Here we go. Ready, go. Great. So I hope you enjoy that. Again, it's so hard to play music with other people, and I'm a demonstrator. I don't know how your teachers are, but I think it's going to be a hard thing to do coming up, you know, with all the masks that we're supposed to wear in person. And so just now we'll go to the duets, and let's actually have you guys, we'll do exactly what we did last time, which is you play the second part and then we'll switch. Let's switch, okay? Okay, so you read the first part and I'll read the second part. Maybe we'll switch halfway through. Okay, so yum ba da dum ba da 3, 4. Okay, so let's switch parts now. And I think the second part is actually a little harder. So iconic thirds here for our flute players. Okay. Ready, go. Second entrance. Here we go. Next entrance. Ready, go. Bar 26. Ready, go. Okay, here's our last entrance. Ready, go. I love that ending so much. So beautiful. Okay, great. So we have time just for a few questions. I really like to stay on time so everyone can get on with their days. Indigo or Nicole or Grace, is there anything that's come up in the chat that we should maybe talk about? What's that? Can't hear you, sweetie. No questions? Okay, well, I'll just feel free to interrupt me if you have a question. I want to give you a little preview of what's coming up tomorrow. So we'll be doing our empowerment warm up, and you have access to what we're going to do the whole week on the site. But roller coaster, I'm going to introduce B, so we'll do A and B, and we'll do, then we'll go into the Moïse number 3, which again is in your packet. We'll do a variation on the Syrinx in different keys by Nina Asimakopoulos. Then we'll play Gluck, Dance of the Blessed Spirits, and I'll play with you in a duet part. And then we'll take requests. So if you have anything specific that you want to do, like I just realized there's no harmonics on there, we probably should put those in as well. Or you know, anything else that we've talked about that you'd love to do again, this would be a great time to talk about that. And then just to give you a preview, next week we'll be going into the low register, and the exercises that I have are some of my favorite ones. I always joke that there's like a money back guarantee with some of these exercises because especially the low register exercises are really powerful. Really help students make a bigger sound in the bottom register, help them express their voice more, which is really what we're here for. So I think that's all I have, unless you guys have any other questions.
It looks like we have at least 2 people asking for tips for transitions between harmonics.
Yes. Okay. Thank you for asking that. So the first step is not to go too high, right? So you can play along with me a little bit here, but to articulate the second note. And then you can check, is that actually the note? So go nice and slow, be really gentle with yourself, don't expect it to be perfect. Some of them are really hard, like I was talking about yesterday when I said the F sharp. The first time I tried to get the F sharp on the low B, I almost threw my flute out the practice room window. So be patient with yourself for sure. Another great tip, friends, is don't worry about going back and forth. I'm a pretty big stickler when it comes to the pinky, but in this instance, don't worry about it. So I would say get the stability first, articulate it, worry less about the pitch difference, like, right? So when you get to that high E, there could be a huge pitch difference for you there. Try not to get too discouraged. Remember I said this is like weight training for your lips. So the first time you go to pick up the big dumbbell or whatever, bench press something, it's going to be really challenging, so you have to go slowly. And you know, like I said, the bugle call is another thing to work on. So you can just go to my videos and rewind and rewind and rewind until they start coming out a little bit more. But be gentle with yourself and don't play the high E and the high G, certainly not the B flat, until you're feeling a little more in control, a little more secure. Anything else?
Tanya also asks if you would talk more about the inspiration for the names of the flute registers.
Yeah, so we changed them a little bit, but it's Stella, Rebecca, Malcolm, and Simone. And this was actually a group class. I'm not sure, I see a couple of my students here, Nicole, Indigo, Celeste. We did this as a group project. I don't know if it was I think it was before you were here. And the only one that I felt really strongly about was Rebecca, because if I had had a girl, I would have named it Rebecca, one of my favorite names. But we came up with the inspiration for all of the things, you know, whether it's the color or the beverage, that way. And Stella, I think it's Stella. The funniest thing is there's a little neighborhood gathering in our backyard, and one of the girls' names is Stella. So every morning I hear, Stella, where are you? And I think of that top register a little bit. It's really arbitrary, and but it was a group project, and it sort of sticks now. So that's where that comes from. Great. All right, friends. Well, it's 10:32, and we have things to do. So I will see you tomorrow. I really hope, and this was so much fun, and I look forward to tomorrow. I will put the posting of the video on a little earlier than I did yesterday, and you're welcome to watch it. And I'll see you tomorrow if you can make it. Thank you so much. Mhm. Hi, Ellie. Oh, she left already.